14 billionaires belong to the most secretive family in the world.
We are the flour in your bread, the salt on your fries, and the chocolate in your dessert. We are the pork or chicken you eat for dinner, the cotton in your clothing, and the fertilizer in your field. We are Cargill, the second largest private company in the world.
Cargill has engaged in wartime profiteering in World War II. They tried to corner the corn market during the Dust Bowl, and they've obliterated rainforest biomes. They made a record $165 billion last year. Their intelligence on food and agriculture has even been said to exceed the CIA's. But it's entirely up to the Cargill family what is made public, because they still own 88% of the company. They are one of 4 corporations that nearly all agricultural commodities pass through, but their invisibility is no accident. You can't boycott Cargill if you can't see Cargill.
Cargill, huh? I never heard of them. Have you? Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name is Luke here of WeAreChange.org, and there's a plethora of absolutely mind-boggling crazy news to get into today. This, as it looks like the Republicans have a new core issue that they are focusing on today, which, in my opinion, should really make you wonder about their priorities, as there's a lot of other crazy things happening behind the scenes that we're going to be exposing and talking about in this broadcast, as well as giving you an update of all the craziness and nonsense still developing all over China. Lots of crazy news to get into. We're going to be talking about that, plus a lot more, all on this independent media broadcast. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you could get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And the clip we played in the beginning of this broadcast is from, I don't know who. If you do know who, let us know in the comment section below, and we will make sure to attribute it to its correct source. It looks like it's from some kind of documentary. The clip is just going around being shared by everybody. I saw it this morning, and I was like, hey, this made me think about what's really going on here. And hey, I think it's at least worth starting a conversation about, since, of course, there's a lot of shadowy, secretive things behind the scenes that we are not privy to, that we do not know. And when we have power ruling in the shadows, ruling in secrecy, you have a recipe for disaster when it comes to innocent law-abiding citizens that are usually, not always, but predominantly taken advantage of, especially with the clear lack of transparency and accountability. All of this as we are getting news today, according to the Chiefs of Staff for Joe Biden, Ron Klein, that the President of the United States will be announcing his 2024 presidential bid after these holidays. Yes, you heard that correctly. Joe Biden, at the tender age of 80, will be running for the presidency in 2024. The president then would be 82, running for political office, and 86 at the end of his second term, with his administration clearly highlighting how obviously this man is not in charge of the U.S. government, but there are some very powerful special interests that usually are special interests that within the last few years have enriched themselves more than any other time in recorded history. As it's important to note here that some of the richest people in the world only became that much richer under the last 2 presidents of the United States. This as Jim Cramer of MSNBC, a discredited corporate news shill, came out today and saying that he does not see a recession coming, which makes a lot of people, including myself, say, yep, that the recession is coming. The recession is probably already here, according to whose ever definition you believe, as of course the Biden administration changed the definition, and I think it's fair to say, after so much theft, after so much robbery, after one of the largest transfers of wealth in recorded human history, with the billionaires only becoming richer than ever, that it's absolutely fair to say that there's going to be some kind of financial reckoning because of this, because how else could there not be? What do you think is going to happen when you shut down and destroy small businesses in this country while allowing Walmarts to be open? There's going to be some larger ramifications for this. We're feeling those ramifications, and this is in part why some people have voted in for the Republicans to hold political office inside of Congress. And what are the Republicans that have just won the majority in Congress focusing on? Are they focusing on these larger financial issues that, of course, the Biden administration is still deliberately creating policies that rob the American people of their wealth? Are they focusing on trying to make America energy independent? Are they trying to relieve some of the pressures created by the government that some people are accusing of deliberately trying to destroy this economy? No. What are they doing? Well, they're focusing on a bureaucratic, non-binary aid inside of the federal government. Yes, you heard that correctly. A group of Republicans with all the major problems in our society right now are deciding that their main focus is going after Sam Britton, who is the Department Deputy Assistant for Spent Fuel and Waste Deposition. Why are they going after him? Because, well, it looks like Brixton here stole a suitcase that wasn't his. He's being charged with felony theft. This is Congressman Andrew Clyde of Georgia, and 15 other Republicans have just sent a letter, have just spent their time trying to get Sam fired for committing a crime. Now, Sam stole a bag that was worth $2,325 on September 16th. And yeah, it's a crime. It's bad, but you compare that to what's been happening with the U.S. Federal Reserve policies, and it amounts to absolutely nothing comparatively to the larger economic destruction that the American people face every single day. And honestly, this whole thing just screams like a total distraction from the actual issues that matter, a total diversion, a total waste of time, as of course, there are a lot of issues that the Republicans should be dealing with, should be addressing, but for this to be their main focus shows us how absolutely filled with fluff and incapable of actually changing things for the American public they actually are. This is their key issue that they're standing behind, as the IRS just announced, reminding people once again that they have to report every single Venmo and PayPal transaction over $600. This as the U.S. Pentagon just failed an audit of trillions of dollars. All of this as the IRS is set to employ 86,000 new employees that will be going after small businesses, as they just changed their threshold from reporting from $20,000 to $600. Where are the Republicans on this particular cause and issue? Well, no. Well, this guy stole a bag, so that's going to be their priority. Again, there's still mandates in this country related to the sickness that is preventing people from coming into this country, preventing people from serving in the military, mandates that are completely out of date that many scientists now highly debate. But no, that's not an important issue. There's political candidates on the Democratic Party that have just certified their own election. The same candidates that were literally reaching out to Twitter and censoring political speech that they did not like. Yes, and with all of that happening and the Democrats working on ballot harvesting, working on mail-in ballots, look like they will have the political power in this country for the next few decades. And what are Republicans doing? Well, they're concentrating on some low-level bureaucrat stealing a handbag. For frick's sakes. And hey, if they're acting like this, maybe they deserve to lose. Let's just be real here with ourselves, as of course there's a trajectory that this country is going into that I see there's most likely no going back from, which I'm going to be talking about more extensively later on today on LukeUncensored.com, as there are some very particular spicy topics that I cannot discuss here on this broadcast, especially when it comes to the latest moves being made by Governor Ron DeSantis in Florida, which are absolutely major and big. I'm also going to be talking about some personal stuff. I'm going to be talking about this plus a lot more in an exclusive video only available for you if you are a member of LukeUncensored.com. Just 50 cents a day to support us on an independent media platform where we could say and do what we want without any kind of fear of censorship, since it's our own platform. Your memberships pay for the infrastructure and growth of this independent media outlet, as well as having access to many perks, many benefits, and even a giveaway that we're going to be doing today. There's going to be a major giveaway. You want to find out what we're giving away? Well, you just have to tune in to LukeUncensored.com. The first people to comment, the first people to, of course, respond will be getting some exclusive, hilarious items that are going to be worthwhile to talk about and most likely put up on your mantle. That plus a lot more, all available only on LukeUncensored.com. See you there right after this video, as this new video is available for you right now. Now, of course, we're still not done with our main topic of discussion here with, of course, all the latest developments happening right now in China, as Fox News had a very interesting article, an article that kind of summarizes what we've been saying for a very long time, and that is that large portions of the Chinese government and its larger totalitarian infrastructure has its core and support from predominantly a lot of American billionaires and globalists who have played a key role in not only the growth of China, but its development to its 1984 totalitarian Big Brother hellscape that it is right now, as they are testing the latest human rights abuses beta test of compliance to see how far government could go when it comes to interfering in everyone's life, treating the average human like they were cattle. And this opinion piece published by Fox News yesterday reads, quote, Wall Street CEOs funding China's military and human rights abuses. Here's why. Asking the specific question, why do these firms want to do business with Chinese authoritarian Communist Party? And I think the answer is clear. One, because of slave labor, the situation created by Henry Kissinger and David Rockefeller in China in the 1970s that, of course, destroyed American manufacturing. But more importantly, the leadership under the Chinese style of government is what a lot of big tech billionaires and a lot of globalists want to, of course, create all over the world. All of this, as we're also finding out today, that China even launched missiles over Taiwan. This was after Nancy Pelosi came and visited that country when she was warned not to by the Chinese government. This, as tensions there have been boiling very severely, and it's important to note here, probably won't be cooling down at any moment and time. All of this as the world etches closer towards a Chinese-style society that, of course, watches every single one of your moves, keeps an eye on every transaction you make, and creates a social credit score system that many Western governments are trying to create right now under the guise of a central bank digital currency, which essentially is exactly like the total totalitarian Chinese social credit score that's already being used in that country. A country where now police officers are going door to door and demanding people's phones in order to go through their private messages to make sure that there was nothing airdropped through Bluetooth on their devices that dares to go against the state. Yes, the video footage that you're watching right now is allegedly Chinese government workers going from door to door in an apartment searching people's phones for political thoughts and ideas that the state does not like. This is the perfect future that many politicians envision for you and are actively trying to achieve here inside of the United States. And if they're not going around checking your phones, they're welding in people inside of their homes, which is, again, a major fire risk. And there have been many instances where people have died because there was a fire inside of their apartment building that was welded shut and people couldn't escape from. That's the future of a zero sickness policy that, of course, Klaus Schwab and individuals like Bill Gates cheer on and compliment and want you living in. Again, you have a red QR code system by the government for expressing some kind of political thought or being somewhere you weren't supposed to be or daring to attend a protest. Well, you're going to have a red QR code that's going to make you someone that has to go to a government quarantine facility where you are treated no better than a caged dog. Now, it is also important to note that with the latest protests coming from China, there is other news contradicting what we've been hearing, and that is specifically that the Chinese government is loosening restrictions and allowing some people to serve out their quarantines in their own homes, that the government is slowly but surely backing down for a lot of their draconian moves that they have implemented against their own people. Now, who do you believe during these times? Did the protests work here? Well, who knows? Since we're living in a day and age of disinformation, and it's important to note here, you can't really trust anybody. These were just my opinions. This was just what I saw. What do you think is really happening here? Let me know down in the comment section below. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys actively watching and sharing these videos, and this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org. One more video coming your way on lukeuncensored.com. See you there.